All right, well, you guys continue on to the vault. The parking lot around this old, charred, and pitted building is full of the finest rides around this containment zone. It looks like the night is finally picking up as you approach the entrance to the facility. Two female humans wearing blue and black leather jackets stand guard. They seem to pay little attention to the foot traffic entering the facility, though. So it's easy to get in, and it's easy to locate the pit area that you guys are supposed to head to. You just follow the cheering down the hall to the right, and the man who contacted you is pretty easy to spot as well. He's holding up the arm of a brutish-looking elf, and the crowd seems to be eating up the victory lap that he's taking. He looks in your direction with a nod, just as your comlink chirps with an incoming text message that says, "Sorry you missed the fight, chummers. We would have thought Gorok would go. Who would have thought Gorok would go down that fast? Anyways, give me a few minutes, then head back to the locker room. I'll introduce you to the champ, and we can talk biz." After that message, Sid clears the ring and heads toward a back door. A ring announcer enters and starts to bark at the crowd and opens the floor to all challengers for the next match.
Who's going in the ring? I want to lay a bet before I go in there.
Okay, yeah, feel free. Two guys are going in. There's an orc who comes up, and his name is Max. And then another guy who's like a wiry-looking human, jumping back and forth. He goes up, and he's called the jumping man.
I want to definitely put 200 million on the jumping man.
All right, anybody else?
I think I'll put 200 down on Jumping Man. If Fight Club has taught me anything, it's the wiry ones you have to be afraid of.
All right, well, the odds are, this orc is pretty darn big, but the odds are 2-1 in favor of the orc, Max.
Don't fail me, jumping man.
Don't fail me, Fight Club.
All right, so let's see. Oh man, this fight is really good. They're kind of like, trading blows and grapples, and nobody seems to be able to make any headway. Oh, but Max finally gets a hit onto the jumping man, and the jumping man goes down, and you guys lose whatever you just bet.
Fuck! He yells.
All right, you guys headed back into the locker room now?
Yeah, and I'm bitching all the way.
All right, once you get in there, it's, like I said, a clean and organized locker room. Sid is standing next to the elf you saw in the ring earlier, and he says, "Hey, I want to introduce you to the deadliest pit fighter here in the zone, Matt Wrath," he says.
Hey, Matt, have you ever fought that guy, the jumping man?
Yeah, that guy likes to jump all over and pretend he's hot stuff, but he's nothing.
Did you cream his ass?
I cream everybody.
All right, I like you already.
So, what's the run?
Sid says, "Sorry you guys missed the fight, but let's talk biz now, all right? Me and Matt here know a lot of people around the zone, and I know who's looking for work and who's looking to hire, where the best docks are, and where to get the primo gear. That said, I've made arrangements for you to meet Mr. Johnson for a data snatch, if you're game. He's just next door in the clinic. Give me a minute to collect the champ's purse, and I'll take you over for instructions." And he quickly scurries off towards the arena. As the door shuts, Matt Wrath looks up at you guys and back at you guys and says, "By the way, you should speak with Becky99 before you leave the vault. She's good people, and she has some work in the same area that Sid has." And shortly thereafter, your comlink chirps again. Message from Sid and says that he'll be a little while. Damn lowlifes, head over to the clinic. Dr. Tate is waiting for you.
Before we leave, I want to head over to this Becky character, non-player character.
She, Becky99, you'd have to ask around for her, of course. Well, Matt is able to tell you that Becky99 is, she's not in the vault. She's kind of like some of her people. Sometimes she can be found in the marketplace area of the vault. At least her people can be found there. Anybody who could lead you over there if you need to. But he tells you should probably go meet with Dr. Tate first, though. You are here for Sid's work.
All right, I'll go see the doc.
So you guys are all headed over there?
Hauser looks for a pamphlet about upcoming fights.
There's no real pamphlet. This place is kind of like, it's kind of like your typical street, underground boxing kind of thing. You could talk to a bookie if you wanted to, or you could talk to...
Do I see the jumping man?
Do you see the jumping man? Is that what you said?
Yeah, on our way out.
On the way to the clinic, he's kind of being helped along and taken over to the clinic. He's to get some cuts and scrapes and bruises looked at.
I want to get in his face and say, "Jumping man, you cost me $200 million, you freaking son of a bitch! I believed in you."
When you try to come at him like that, there's a guard that stands between you and puts his hand out and says, "Hey, calm down there, buddy."
Yeah, well, this jackass cost us how much did you bet, Yonkers? I lost $200 million on this stupid little jumping son of a...
Lost the same.
Yeah, you and plenty of other people, pal, and they're keeping their cool, so why don't you keep your cool as well?
You better hope I don't see you jumping outside of this place, jumping man.
He looks over
the
the guard's shoulder at you and says, "You know what kind of talk like that is gonna get you? It's gonna get you buried in the ground, pal."
Let's do this! In the ring, I gotta go to a meeting, but I will take you down anytime, any place. You tell me when, buddy. I'll check you out. I'll show you how you can jump.
Let's do it.
Well, Bill?
Let's do it. Why don't you? Whatever you got going on, I'll take you anytime, pal.
What do you think? Yonkers, how long do you think this meeting's gonna take? An hour? An hour? Tops, right? 'Cause then I'm gonna just jump all over this jumping man.
Yeah, fine. Hour. I call seconds.
In the ring, 1 hour, jumping man, and you better not jump away like I know you're thinking of doing.
Yeah, you know what? I got you. I got your number, man. You're going into the I'm gonna bury you.
Jumping man, I'll put 500 million on you to wipe the floor with him.
See, your little friend over there doesn't think too much of your skills, bruh.
I want to smack House in the back of the head in a semi-loving way.
I think he just called you Little House.
Yeah, it's true. I'm travel size.
House. It's always prudent to vote on the grandpa. Old age and cunning and all that.
Yeah, but I think he's a little bit too anxious for it. He's gonna make a big mistake in the ring.
Less talking, more walking, Little House on the Prairie. Let's go meet this freaking guy and get this appointment over so I can go cream that jumping man.
So you guys head on down the hall towards the clinic, and awkwardly, Jumping Man is also headed toward the clinic. So you're kind of like, making an awkward walk down to the clinic with this guy, and you guys are kind of, maybe exchanging glances, but it's mostly, the steam has been let out of your confrontation for now, and it's kind of an uncomfortable walk.
Do we have to ride an elevator together while music plays?
No, you don't, but you do have to stand at a door while it's being unlocked, so you kind of have to. You do have to uncomfortably and awkwardly stand next to each other for a moment. But the guard stands between you. I want to give him the stink eye with my cyber eyes set to bright red, scary mode. He does his best to kind of snarl and furrow his brow at you. I'm not backing down either. I'm just looking him dead in the eye with my glowing red death eye. All right. Well, when you get down, the clinic is just down the hall from the pit and through a set of double doors, as I described, and you're kind of accosted by the stark contrast between the areas. Compared to the pit, the clinic is bright, clean, sterile. Nurses actually tend to several patients in small stalls that have been that may have been, office cubicles once upon a time, but a nurse escorts you to the doctor's office. The doctor, who I just showed you a picture of on roll 20, Dr. Tate says, "Good evening. My name is Dr. Martin Tate, but you can call me Mr. Johnson if you prefer. I asked Sid to find some talented asset to assist me, and I hope he's fulfilled my expectations. Let's get down to business, shall we? I'm looking to expand my medical facilities further into the zone. To do that, and keep care affordable to the locals, I need to procure the necessary space at a bargain basement price. To that end, I'd like you to break into an abandoned office building and extract some data from their systems. I'm willing to pay you 6,000 new yen each, plus priority treatment at any of my medical facilities.
All right, go on.
Yeah, start by telling us where the place is, Mr. Johnson, Dr. Johnson.
Am I to assume that this is your acceptance of the job?
Well, I mean, we need a few more details first. What kind of resistance do you expect? Where is the place? What does priority assistance mean? Is it covered by my HMO?
Priority assistance at this clinic here would mean that for as long as you remain in Chicago, anytime you need any medical treatment, you can come to my clinic and get that treatment for free.
All right, what about the other two questions? Where is it and what kind of resistance do you expect?
The location is somewhere a little bit further, not too far from here, so it's in the containment zone. The information that I'd like you to procure obviously could end up being procured by another team if you don't accept the job, so you'll understand if I don't give you the precise location. It's an abandoned building, an old office building. That's as much information as I'm willing to give you right now.
Can you sweeten it up? Can you sweeten the pot a little bit? I got some cyberware. It's getting pretty old. Got most of it back in the 50s. You think you could take a look at it, see what you can do about giving it a little upgrade?
6,000 new yen among each of you. That's a total of 30,000 new yen. That's quite a hefty price there. If you want to go ahead and roll negotiation, you can.
Of course
I'd like to assist.
Okay, go ahead.
Seeing as you've already offered gratis under for medical treatment, priority or otherwise, I believe this would technically fall under that offer. Am I incorrect?
I got 4 successes.
Okay, so he turns around and he says, "Okay, I understand your concerns about not knowing. Why don't I sweeten the deal a little bit for you? I hear that you guys do good work, and I'd like to have you as my team on this job, so why don't we say 7,000 new yen apiece for this job?"
And 20% off on all cyber-related surgeries for Malibu.
How about 7,000 new yen each and already the free medical care that I've offered? That's my final offer.
Seeing as your cyberware surgeries would count as part of that priority, I believe, Malibu, I think you're getting what you wanted.
Does that count, cyberware surgery?
No, I am referring to any medical treatment that you need. No. Short answer is no. We don't do much cyberware here in this clinic anyway, just small things.
Healthcare in this country sucks. All right. So tell us what happens next.
All right, he looks at Haunted House, who just chimed in saying that he's in, and nods, and looks at the rest of you and nods and says, "Good. What I need you to do is break into an old Trid studio at the corner of West Kimball Avenue and West Addison Street. Used to be called Chicago Genesis. Once you're inside, I want you to locate their node and pull any data related to property ownership."
Chicago and Genesis, 2 of the greatest songs of the 70s and 80s.
What are you even talking about?
Before your time.
I think I'm older than you.
Yeah, but it's before my time. It's before both of ours times.
Malibu, roll his Seattle 2050s knowledge skill for me.
4 successes.
All right. You've heard of the name Brilliant Genesis before. You think that it had to do with some Trid shows back in the day, but you can't quite put your finger on exactly what Trid show. But you know that they were somehow involved with some really popular Trid shows back in the day.
So I would just say to Dr. Trace, weren't they like a Trid show group or something?
Yes, they're an old Trid studio.
So you want us to break into an old Trid studio so you can turn it into a hospital?
What I need is property ownership data that you can get for me, and that way I can take it from there and figure out a way to acquire this real estate before the city of Chicago gets word of what its owned or unowned status, so that I can expand my clinic operations here in the containment zone. All
right, man. I mean, so can we keep anything we find while we're on the job?
He He just kind of shrugs and says, I am not concerned about anything except for these ownership files.
All right, man. Well, sounds like a deal to me. And I put my hand out to shake.
He extends his hand as well and shakes it.
Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go cream a jumping man into the freaking ground and make sure he never jumps again, because he cost me $200 million tonight.
He raises his eyebrows and looks over to the jumping man sitting on the bench, and he says, I believe you're speaking of the patient that I'm supposed to be seeing next.
Yeah, you better patch him up real good, because I want to make sure he can jump really high before I break his legs, because it's the last time he's ever going to jump again.
He chuckles a little bit and he says, well, I'll send him your way when I'm done with him. Are there any other questions that you have for me before we depart?
No, but my nerdy Decker nephew and this magic guy probably have some questions. I'm gonna go outside and get a beer. I'll be at the ring, guys. I'll meet you back there.
We'll be in touch when we get the information.
Just one question, Doctor. Does my uncle's free healthcare does that start now or after the job? Because I have a feeling he might need it after this fight.
It, of course, starts after the successful completion of the job. So you better hope that your uncle is skilled.
Yeah.
He smirks. He's not without a sense of humor.
Oh, Davros, don't you worry about your Uncle Ruckus.
All right, are you guys... So you guys have the job. Are you guys doing anything else here in the clinic, or are you headed out to go find Becky 99, or what are you doing?
Let's go find Becky 99.
You're warming up? You're shadow boxing for the time being?
Bag, jumping rope, jumping jacks.
Becky 99 is known to have a small stall at the market section of the vault where she conducts business. So if you'd like, you can head in that direction.
All right,
House heads that direction after putting 500 million on the jumping man.
The bookie says, yeah, I just heard about this fight coming in. Some newcomer coming up taking on the jumping man who just lost, huh? Well, odds are kind of 1-to-1 right now because jumping man just took a beating.
Yeah, but you takes the devils that you know and not the one you do not.
Right, well...
I had to freaking murder a guy on the way over here!
Hey, Malibu, you got $1,000?
I'm putting 1,000 million on myself.
Loan me 1,000, I'll put it on you too.
Wait, you want to borrow 1,000 million to bet on me, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you win, I get 1,000, and I can pay you back the 1,000 you gave me.
And if you lose, you owe me 1,000.
Exactly.
Okay, I just want to make sure we were clear on that part. Because I don't want to lose and lose 2,000.
It's okay
Yes,
if you lose, I'll challenge you to... If you lose, I'll complain that you lost me $1,000 and challenge you to a boxing match.
All right, I let him borrow 1,000 and I bet 1,000 on myself, and then I get real freaking into my war zone of my brain.
Okay. Well, as you guys head towards the stall where you're expected to find Becky 99, making your way through kind of the hustle and bustle of the market, you can't help but notice the rows upon rows upon rows of floor-to-ceiling cages that have been converted into street shops that sell everything from Lodine pills to high-caliber ammunition. In the back corner of the large room, you spot a stall draped in blue and black colors, the colors of the Desolation Angels, and several women milling about the area, giving the appearance of shopping, but are obviously standing guard inside the stall. Inside the stall is a spiky, dark-haired human female. She sits at a table. She's wearing a black, studded denim jacket with sleeves torn off and a dark blue halter top underneath. Hold on a second. She's right there. She smiles as you enter and says, please, have a seat, friends. I understand my dear friend Matt asked you to speak with me. I shall be short and to the point. I understand Dr. Tate and his corporate overlords are looking to expand their reach further into the zone. Don't worry. I'd never ask you to betray your job. My job is to know what's going on in my turf. And though I can't say I trust Tate, he has done some good around here. The facility he wants you to liberate was a very lucrative trid studio back in the day. I'm hoping its close proximity to the Kermac blast means the looters ignored it for less irradiated grounds. The site is far outside my turf, so I can't send my crew down there, and I don't have the pockets to hire a team directly. But a bundle job, that I can do. I'd like you to, what I'm looking for is any old trid recordings you can find. I can pay you each 500 nuyen just for looking, and an additional 500 each if you bring me back any recordings you find. Any recordings you find there would be of little value to anyone outside the zone, since the tech used to record them is now considered antique. But to those living here, a chance to glimpse loved ones long gone would be of really great value. So what do you say? Chance to maybe double your pay for a single trip.
Yeah, I'd be happy to see if I can scrounge up some old media files. Are you looking exclusively for anything that would be high quality 2 dimensions, or would rudimentary trid be something that we could get as well?
It's probably all going to be trid stuff if you find anything.
All right. Do you want a physical media drop, or do you want to accept it over the matrix?
Yeah, I definitely like the recordings to be brought to me here physically.
All right. The name's Haunted House. If you've been around Jamaica Collective, you might have seen me these past few weeks.
Oh, I think I have heard your name, actually. Some people have been talking about a newcomer in town who's been doing a lot of Good Samaritan work around there.
Yeah, so if you need any equipment, check that tuned up or repaired, or if you just need some shisa to move over as a containment zone walls, look me up. I'll move product.
Hey, no problem. That's good to know. We always like someone around here who's doing good for the people of the CZ.
No reason why everybody can't come out a little bit ahead.
Hey, that's what I'm saying too.
All right, everybody ready to go see Malibu get his ass handed to him by the hopping man?
Yeah. Shit's gonna get himself. Either he'll get lucky or he'll get dead.
Bobby, are you allowed to use your cyberware completely in this match?
Yeah, this is well, no, these matches are non-lethal, strictly non-lethal. So you can use that's the only real rule is that it's non-lethal fights.
I hand Malibu an inhaler.
Is it drugs? Because I'll use them. I'll use the drugs.
Yes, it's jazz.
Okay, I take it.
All right.
What are the effects of jazz?
Jazz gives you +1 reaction, +1 to your physical limit, and +2d6 initiative dice.
Fantastic. All right.
As Malibu's getting ready for the fight, House pulls out his portable trid projector and starts setting up like some badass coming to the ring special effects for him to run through.
Does anyone have a boombox?
So we can play the Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah, the 2050s remix.
House uses his rigger command console to start randomly blasting streamed music out of every speaker.
So yeah, Malibu takes a deep inhale off from the inhaler before he tries to, starts to run up to the ring, and Haunted House starts playing some really upbeat, inspiring music. That's like, fire it up.
And I scream like this.
Jumping Man versus Screaming Man!
Well, Jumping Man doesn't do too hot, gets an 11. All right, Malibu, you're up first.
Unfreaking armed combat. Plus edge. 5 successes.
Nice, you got 2 net hits. Just so you know, you were made to take off your any armor that you were wearing.
Yeah, I figured. Strength is 5.
All right, so +2 net hits. That's 7 stun that he has to resist, and he's in there shirtless.
Oh yeah, I am. And you can see my big dolphin tattoo on my back.
Well, I meant the Jumping Man's in there shirtless, but you can be shirtless too. You've got a dolphin tattoo.
Yeah, I got it during the off week.
Okay. Oh man, he gets hit hard. You knocked him. You came in and he tries to throw a punch at you, and you juke around him, and then knock him square in the jaw, and he kind of staggers a little bit back and falls up against the chain link fence, or against the ropes that bump up against a fence that's behind it, and he's barely able to keep himself up. And so he kind of comes back at you. Roll your reaction plus intuition.
5 successes.
So he kind of, he's bounced back against the ring. He kind of comes back and kind of shakes it off a little bit, and he comes running at you and tries to throw, and you just like step out of the way, and he kind of flies past you, and you easily avoid his attack. And it's your turn again.
8 dice, called shot, rolling now. 3 successes.
Ooh, he manages to dodge.
Shit.
You get another move, actually.
All right, rolling it. 1 success.
All right, he avoids you.
Are you out of edge?
Well, you do have a job to eventually do.
Yeah, I don't want to spend all my edge. Okay, do I have another pass now?
No, roll initiative again real fast.
25.
You're first.
Man alive. 2 successes.
He manages to dodge you again. He is, after all, the jumping man. All right, he's coming back at you. Roll your reaction plus intuition.
3 successes.
Once again, you easily duck under his quick punch that he sends at you. Blows are coming left and right, back and forth from each other, and everybody's
2 successes.
cheering wildly. Ooh, you got a net hit on him. One of your punches comes down at him and finally connects, and he is hit hard. You come down on the top of his head almost, well, sort of like above him with your powerful cyber arm comes down, hits him in the shoulder and kind of goes through into his chest and staggers him back easily, and he falls down on the ground and sprawled out, sweat and blood pouring off of him, and the crowd goes wild, and the man who's been officiating the fights comes up and grabs your cyber arm and raises it high into the air, and he says, and the newcomer wins!
Malibu, yeah!
And the crowd starts cheering, and they eventually start chanting, Dolphin Man! Dolphin Man! Dolphin Man!
Hell yeah, Dolphin Man. So what's the purse?
You win, on top of your bet that you made, you win, this was a thrown together real fast kind of fight, so it wasn't scheduled or anything, so you only win 500 new yen.
Plus, what were the odds for me again?
Well, it was 1-to-1 odds, so you won your, whatever you bet, you doubled.
Yeah, you come back for your 2. You come back 3,000 new yen to the 2,000 new yen you invested.
Awesome. All right, at least I got my 200 million back, and I creamed the damn jumping man, so that was worth the effort.
He is out cold
and now
in the middle of the ring.
Man reigns supreme over this place. What's it called? The Vault?
The Vault, yeah. So some guys run up to a haunted house who is playing some music, and they say, hey, are you the Dolphin Man's manager?
That I am, and I've got live footage of the match right here if you'd like to have your exclusive copy of it.
Oh yeah, I'll take some of that. How's 25 new yen?
25 million will be good, and there'll be more of that where this came from. Look for the Dolphin Man coming up again at the end of the week.
Yeah, man, Dolphin Man is going to be some hot stuff around here. Hey, if you're setting up any more fights, you go and you talk to the guy here, and he should be able to hook you up with any against any contenders. And man, that was a hell of a fight, man.
And he's just getting started.